everyone! Lots of you liked my Christmas gonks that I made last Christmas, so I decided to show you how I made them. This video shows you how to make Mr. Gonk, and my next video will show you how to make Mrs. Gonk. To make my Christmas gonk, I used red modelling paste, black modelling paste and white modelling paste. For his face, I coloured a little bit of white modelling paste with Sugar Flair's Skin Tone food colouring paste. I've put links to all the items used in this video in the description below. So to begin with, I formed about 40 grams of red modelling paste into a cone shape, and then I gently pinched out the bottom so it would look more like a cloak. I made the shoes from 2 small balls of black modelling paste and flattened them slightly, making them narrower at one end. Once I was happy with the shape, I used a ball tool just to create little indents into the cloak where the feet will go. I then used a clear alcohol to stick the feet into position, but you could always use an edible glue as well. To strengthen the model, I used a piece of spaghetti which I inserted straight through the middle. I had to leave space for the head and a little bit for the hat. Now I use spaghetti because I like to use something edible, but if you wanted to use something stronger you could also use a cocktail stick. I made the head by forming about 11 grams of skin tone modelling paste into a ball shape. I gently inserted it over the spaghetti and secured it with some clear alcohol. It's at this point I like to leave the model overnight to fully air dry and harden. So it's now next day and my model is fully hardened and strong enough to take the hair and the weight of the hat. To begin with, I made the nose by forming a little tic-tac shape. You could do any size you want really, and then just stick it onto the face. Then I began making the beard by forming long tear-shaped pieces of white modelling paste. Just kept checking for the length that I wanted before I stuck them into position. I then used my knife and scriber tool to texture the modelling paste to make it look like a beard. And then filled in the rest of the beard using another piece of modelling paste and then texturing in the same way. I then made the moustache by forming 2 pieces of white modelling paste into tear shapes that I slightly flicked up at either end. I stuck them into position and again I textured them with the knife end of the knife and scriber tool. Just gently shaping as I went along until I was happy with the shape. I then formed 2 more long tear-shaped pieces of white modelling paste at either side. Just before I placed the arms on. You may not need to do this, it all depends on the size of your beard. I then made the arms by forming about 3 grams each of red modelling paste into a cone shape, which I slightly curved. I then inserted a cone tool into the larger end. Now this makes it more like a sleeve shape, but also gives you room to add the gloves later. I then stuck the arms into position and modelled where necessary. To make the gloves, I flattened 2 pea-sized shaped pieces of modelling paste, and then I used the knife and scriber tool just to create little indents to form the thumb. I then narrowed the end of each one so they would fit inside the pre-made holes of the sleeves. I then made the back of the hair by flattening a piece of white modelling paste, checking the length, and then I stuck it into position. And once again I textured using my knife and scriber tool. Using the knife and scriber tool at the bottom of the hair to create little indents is quite a nice effect. I then carried on creating strips of hair in the same way, filling all the gaps until I was happy. To form the hat, I moulded about 25 grams of red modelling paste into a tall, narrow cone shape. I then checked the height against my model. I wanted it roughly the same height. Next, I used a ball tool to create the same shape as the top of his head and then thinned it out with my fingers. Checking that it fits properly, I then used some clear alcohol to stick it into position, making sure it stuck firmly all the way around. I then gently teased the hat into any position that I wanted it to be. To make the hat's white trim, I rolled a tube of white modelling paste. If you've got a cake smoother, this helps to make a nice even tube. I then checked and trimmed the length of the paste before sticking it around the rim of the hat. I then smoothed over the join by gently rubbing with my finger.